We had two calves, one late last night, not late, but like 9:30, and then early this morning, one of our heifers calved and had this little guy. We got everybody's tag made out and kind of just waiting, honestly, waiting for me. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Saturday afternoon. Dad and I took quite the little round trip today. It was about, all told, it was probably about 8 hours total to go look at a tractor. But unfortunately, it was definitely, there was a couple things that we noticed that probably going to be hard nose on it. But oh well, you don't know until you go look at it. So updates, we'll start back to front, or second to first, from yesterday and this morning. It's been a long day. I've been up since 12:30 in the morning, but we had two calves, one late last night, not late, but like 9:30, and then early this morning one of our heifers calved and had this little guy. So this is a bull ruler out of apparently Snotty McGee here. So this is our Bruno daughter, and she basically went round and round in this pen for about 3 hours after I locked her in. Then we did end up having to help this guy out. He's only about 85 pounds, but just a smidge bigger than she could handle, and it wasn't too bad of a pull. And because I'm on light duty, Bethany had to help Dad, and I kind of supervised. So we will put him back with Mom so he can get a real meal. Of which, while we were on the road, Bethany did give about a half a bottle, and she did a really good job. And he took it, no problems, gave her no guff. So we are going to put him back with Mom so he can get a real meal. Then last night, the long extended wait is over from Miss Barb here, as we got our first Fairview Kingpin bull, who is doing really nice. Kingpin is a Calvingese bull. This would have been Barb's third calf. So she is a 4-year-old. I'd say he's, again, probably in like that 90-pound range. But also remember, he's 11 days late. So it took her a couple minutes, but then she shot him right out. And
We got an escapee.
apparently we have somebody who got out. So we'll have to get him back in. But he seems to be doing really well. Barb has got tons of groceries. That's awesome. He's got a little bit different marking, but so does Kingpin. If I remember, I'll throw a picture in what he looks like. So this is a bull. So we will keep him. Actually, everybody so far is a bull. Dad asked me, do you have enough bulls yet? I said, wow, you don't know if you ever have enough bulls. So we'll see. Like I keep reminding Dad, you can always take them back off. You can't put the bits and pieces back on. One little not so good thing are my cameras. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if it's because I don't have a great spot for my Wi-Fi extender. Maybe the Wi-Fi extender is not the greatest or the strongest, or because we're in the depths of the barn. It gets a little glitchy when you're trying to operate them. And also, like if me and Dad are on it at the same time, and maybe that's just an automatic no-no for any camera system, that two people can't be on it at the same time. But even when I'm trying to operate it by myself, sometimes it just gets really glitchy, and I have to look into that. Maybe I'll look into a different Wi-Fi extender, something, trying to reposition the extender, things like that. So I was a little irritated. Hey, good morning. All right, Sunday morning. And we're out. We're moving. We're not in a car driving. Of course, Dad sent me a tractor this morning. He's like, oh, this is another 3.5, 4 hour drive into Minnesota. I said, no. Nope, not going to happen. Not anytime soon. Not on a day like today. Supposed to get up into the upper 30s, low 40s today. So we got a couple of things we want to do. Working in the shop a little bit on the 29. All right, I do know that I have to go in and open a gate in between 301 and Barb, because 301's calf laid down next to the gate and he found his way under the gate and he's in with Barb. So Barb don't give a rip, but that's just what we got to do today. That's just, you know, something that happens. We do also need to set up a water tank outside here for these girls, which is upstairs, has a little bit of oats in it. So we'll probably need to pull that out, feed out the oats. All right, so I just opened that green gate, gave her a little grain for distraction. She's still pretty chill, but honestly, if you can make things more calm for your animals while you're dealing with them, why not? Here is our Kingpin. I love this dude. I love those markings. Yeah, it's kind of a Brockle face. Not like traditional Fleck, but sometimes you get some of those characteristics in Fleck that keep carrying on. There's the little guy. He's been just like a little off. And I think a lot of that, the more I keep thinking about it, you know, I had mentioned I put out the selenium like a month or two before calving to make sure the calves are really sturdy and ready to go. But after getting the results back on that calf, that aborted calf, and finding out that we were very low in selenium, very low in manganese, or very low in selenium, very low in magnesium, that one, I should have had it out months earlier, if not all the time. And we already have a bottle on order. We're going to have a bottle of Bosi, which is a selenium vitamin E supplement. And any calf that either calves hard or basically anybody that's not up and running immediately, we're just going to give them a shot of Bosi and be done with it so that they have the best start that they can. Because I think he just started a little bit slow. He'll suck on a bottle, he'll suck on mom, but then he kind of just mopes around a little bit. He's not sick. He doesn't have squirts, nothing, no respiratory issue. He's just a little slow. So we'll, if we get it on Monday, we'll probably still give him a shot, boost that up, get him going. And I mean, he's still doing right. He's still doing good. Heads up. He's still moving around. He was moving around earlier. So not a big deal, but that's going to just be something we're going to watch. And then it's going to take a while to correct that issue with better mineral management. All right, we got everybody's tag made out. And kind of just waiting, honestly, waiting for me to be more functional. But probably Bethany will be helping tag calves, and we'll get them all going. Come on, kiddo. One really nice thing, this guy from yesterday morning is sucking, and mom has got herself a really nice bag. She's a little weird, so hopefully she settles down over time. But she actually has, like, the milk is literally, it is dripping out of her bag. So that's always a good sign. But really, really nice. He actually was a little bit swollen in the face. And part of that is just the long calving process, and the way that he was coming out was just a little cockeyed. they get a little bit of pressure, they'll swell up a little bit, but I think that is coming down already, so that's good. All right, we are going to throw the little material bucket on. We're going to scrape in front of the barn because we're going to put a water tank out there. Typically, that's what we usually do. It is just that time of year. We need it already. So we're going to do that, but the water tank has some old seed oats in it. So we got to clean that out. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to. Just kind of some really little projects. We've got an idea to put the steers back in the BDA area where they were now that we have water back in there, because we actually need the loafing shed possibly today, if not in the next couple of days. These girls are a little bit thirsty, so Dad's gonna scrape on that a little bit, and I'm gonna get this hose running, make sure that these are open. After yesterday, the closet should be, or this line should be thawed out. So it's just this line up here. We just have a poly line that runs along the ceiling, and then the faucet is inside. So it's this line right here and just shoots up and out and outside. So I'm gonna crack that open. We'll see what we got going on here. All right, let's put the hose on. And this is typical. We typically do end up putting a water tank out here. This is nothing new. We do this every single year. So this just happens to be the time of year that we need it. So this is the guy that we're after, but we got a couple 5-gallon buckets in there. So we'll bring the tractor with the bucket up here and pick that guy up, give the oats to the calves, be good to go. All right, so this is what we end up with. So what ended up happening is we were talking about on the way home yesterday, but we actually forgot to set this up yesterday. So we weren't super worried about it. So they got by. It was late. We were really tired. We totally forgot about it. Didn't remember till like 8 o'clock at night. So they're a little thirsty. So that's on us. But they're doing fine. They're all right. Corey, you gotta watch out. Fats McGee has got a little more poundage on you. So we're actually gonna let 10 from yesterday morning out, and then probably let the other 2 out too, because 10, this one, was so stupid yesterday when she was calving that she was crawling up and around in the water tank. So yeah, dumb. He can go wherever he wants. Right, buddy? So you have a little bit more of a perfect blaze. So you are a bull ruler. He was just a little bit swollen on right in there. But even from yesterday, that's gone down. You can tell it's gone down a little bit. All right, so we'll open this up. If these girls want to go out too, then they can, because we got to pump out and clean out this tank. Then we can bed this right away. Correct. Should I call in reinforcements for that? The bedding. All right, so since that tank is pretty filthy, we're gonna try and pump that out. And yep, we're flowing. And when I always talk about like water runoff and coming in the barn, so water is running off now. So you want it to go past and keep going, because we got all the snow melt, and then it comes here, right here, and then onto the pad, and then you hope it goes by. That's what we run into. That's what we deal with every year. It is what it is. So these guys are just gonna hang out outside. Everything is open. This is still really, really bedded down nice. So that's the guy from this morning, and you can just see the legs of Barb's calf. And then we got Dopey over here. He sucks on mom, but he'd be a candidate for the selenium. He's just a little shy on that level. So I think that's, I think ultimately him needing it is really stems from the lack of selenium and the lack of a couple other minerals throughout the whole summer and fall. So I guess the one benefit to having that calf looked at and analyzed kind of lets us know that, hey, we gotta tune up our mineral program just a little bit for our area. I mean, we could put it right here. Okay. So we're just kind of thinking of different spots to put it, but when we want to put the bulls in here in a couple weeks after the next set of steers go, because we'll still have that little bull ruler twin, and then he can kind of keep them in line and kind of show them the ropes of this area out here. But this is typically our driest spot, which is about where we're going to put it. All right, so we got that feeder out there. I'll show you where that's located. And we got a bale in there right away, so probably this afternoon we'll actually bring them back. But it's just right out there, so they got plenty of room to get around it. We kind of would like to put it up against the wire so we could just drop bales up against it, you know, like over the fence. But I don't want, because that's all electric, I don't want them to be able to push the feeder up against the fence to ground it out. And then filling up the water tank, I did have to plug that heater back in, and that'll thaw out by today, and that'll be floating later this afternoon. All right, so we got a few more minutes yet. We're gonna bed the calves, so that's out of the way. The bulls are still pretty good up against this edge where they where we put that one bale core that I couldn't do anything with. So Dad's just gonna take a little bit and sift over the edge to bed the area that is a little bit dirty. But these calves kind of need some, and with the warmer weather, we're supposed to get some precip Wednesday, I think, which is going to be like a rain changing to snow type of event. So yeah, they're due. But it is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably, if it's not 40, it's like 39. It's really nice out here. And really sunny. So one thing this time of year that's really kind of neat, and it's kind of like the power of the sun this time of year because it's getting so close and you can feel the heat on your face, is this gate 99% of the time is closed like that. Well, if you see where the shadow lines are, you can also tell that there's a line of ice there. Where there wasn't a bar, it's melted down about a ½ inch. So you can actually see where the shadow from the sun is melting. You know, it isn't melting as fast as where there wasn't a shadow. It's pretty cool. Fine, these guys are soaking up the sun. Cora May is looking like she'll calve in a couple days. She's at least not pissy. Like, she doesn't care that I'm in here right now. I think it was just because we had her penned up and isolated from everybody. If that's the only reason she was pissy, then that's okay. But she was a freaking nutball though. She kept crawling up into the damn water tank. I'm glad we have a 6x6 frame underneath it, because she didn't wreck it, surprisingly. So Dad is here. We're gonna, well, one, we want a bed in the barn. That's a big one. We want to do some bedding out for the cows. But then I'll call Bethany out here, and we're gonna get some tagging done today. Tagging and weigh in, and yeah, and Dad just said, he's like, I hit that just right where he dropped that chunk of straw, because it's still really good right in here, but like right up where those boys are standing was starting to get a little cruddy. So yeah, that landed just right, and they helped spread it out. Before we bring these steers back in the BDA area, and before we bring the young bulls in here, and we don't obviously have our feeders or our bunk redone, Not really too worried about anybody going through that. That's still fairly solid. We definitely don't have our bale feed area fixed up yet. And this is probably the worst part because it's not strong. And as soon as everything thaws out, this is going to be even worse. So what we're going to do with the bale feeder we set up over there, I'm going to run 2 lines of electric from that post across that corner over to this post. And we're going to make sure that they're good and juiced. I'll check it before we let anything in here. And that way it keeps them off of that feeder completely. 2 lines should be sufficient. I'll probably put one like right in the middle here and then one up here. Those are good heights. And then coming across keeps them out of that corner keeps them off the feeder completely. And we don't have to worry about them. All right, so we're gonna start feeding cows. We got that wire set up, and actually I'm gonna go forgot the tape. Hopefully starting like Tuesday, Wednesday, I can start ramping up and getting back more to normal. I am actually going to take the cover off of the mineral feeder. Let's see here. Yeah, because there's still a lot of mineral in there. We got a couple of really nice days coming up. I'll have to put it back on Wednesday or Tuesday. I just want to see if they increase their mineral intake with the cover off or what. Just making sure. This is kind of an experiment, and that's about it. That's the only reason why. And I'm just gonna set it right over there, so it's not very far away. Cover off. We still have plenty of selenium. Still have plenty of the NutriBeef. And we're still nice and loose. A little crusty on a couple of spots on top, but that's all right, to be expected. So yeah, literally just an experiment to see if all of a sudden they ingest a bunch of it. They probably will, just because it's different. And they're like, oh, you're not making us put in like 1% effort to get at the mineral? Okay, we'll eat a bunch more. So one nice thing is he's a little slow. Yes, he's a little slow. Bethany calls him Jeff.
You almost got it. Maybe he needs glasses.
He probably does need glasses. He's a little cross-eyed.
He does.
But he's working at it. He was sucking earlier. These other 2 guys are doing really, really well. If we keep him and develop him to play off of Kingpin, we're thinking perfect strike. P for the year, perfect strike, keeping that bowling thing with Kingpin. Yes, Bethany gets the credit for the name. You want me to tell him about the other one?
Oh yeah.
So this guy that we pulled yesterday before our trip is a bold ruler. And you keep the P. He was also born on Valentine's Day. Bethany said, bold passion. We'll see. That one might stick too. And again, all just registered names. So not like we're not putting Jeff in the registered names category, even though Bethany said the P is silent. These guys are doing really well, and I will also give Bethany credit. She wanted to try it. She caught the essential bull and took his jacket off just because, 1, he doesn't need it, and 2, it's so warm. But he looks really good underneath there. He is nice and thick. He is spunky. He got it off and just started running around. And if you didn't get to see him up close and personal, this is our Kingpin. Oh, got bumped. Really nice. I like that guy. Kingpin is a Calvingese bull. He is safe for heifers. Been used on a lot of heifers. So that's not concerned about that. So these guys are doing really well. We are going to give our nutritionalist a call from Marathon Feed and see if she can stop out and we can just chit chat a little bit. We're thinking we're missing a little bit of growth potential out of these guys. Like, they're doing okay, but they could be doing, we think, a lot better. Probably a little bit more protein because of, yes, the silage has the energy and stuff like that, but it's still a lot of roughage with all the green and stuff in there. So probably going to have her stop by, see if we can get her to stop by and see if she can give us a couple pointers and stuff like that. Don't think it's, not like it's too late to get these guys to where they need to be in, well, we got March and April. We got 2 to 3 months, 2.5 months. It is Sunday. It is the end of the day. We're going to call it the end of the video. I hope you guys liked the video. Smash that like button on your way out. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. As always, thanks for coming along.